Hey there, it's Brad Stevens, and I'm going to share with you today a quick tutorial on a technique called EFT, or the Emotional Freedom Technique. It's a very effective and powerful technique that several thousands of people around the world are effectively using to clear stress, frustration, any negative emotions, calm down, even heal themselves of troubling internal emotions. And it's based on tapping points of the body to create an effect very similar to the way that acupuncture works to help move energy and chi energy through energy meridians in the body. Now, this is very effective, I find, for conditions such as fear, stress, worry, anger, anything where we kind of feel all revved up with these negative emotions, and we would just want to find a way to calm down and release some of those challenging feelings and get back to a state of peace within ourselves and perhaps resolve some of those inner issues. And a lot of times these feelings and emotions are very much charged within our body, and just using thoughts and feelings alone may not work in every case. And a lot of people are finding that tapping effectively moves energies, helps transform and release a lot of these stressful, challenging emotions. There's many other things you can use it for, and we'll touch on that a little bit later. But first, let's quickly talk about the points on the body. Now, there are a few different approaches that people use. I'll share with you the one that I find most effective, and it's one of the ones that I've commonly seen out on the internet. The first point is the karate chop point, the soft, fleshy point on the side of your hand. You can use 2 or 3 fingers and tap with a medium force, not too hard, not too soft. You can use both one hand or the other hand, whatever you prefer. The other points are you can use 2 fingers to tap right here on the forehead. Also on the side of the eye, right on the bony edge of the socket here, you can use 1 or 2 fingers to gently tap that location. Just under the eye, not so much on the cheekbone. I find it works better to slightly on the softer part under the eye, that you can gently tap there. Under the nose is another point. And right in the center of the chin, underneath the lip and the chin bone. And the collarbone, some people prefer to tap just one of the 2 bony points right where there's a bit of a U shape on the collarbone area here. Some people like the feeling. Seems to be effective for me to gently use your fist and just hit both points of the bone with the knuckles on your fist. The next point is now under the arm, approximately where a bra strap would be if you're a woman. You want to gently use your hand to tap that location. And at the very top crown of the head, you can gently pat, kind of like what you did back in school, perhaps, when you were rubbing your stomach and patting your head. And if you've done those methods with me just while watching, you might notice that there's an interesting feeling generated. It can create a calming feeling. It can feel good. It can feel like a release when you tap those energy points on your body. If you're out in public or near people, you can use your fingers like this, or just simply use the hand tapping. Let's say, for example, I'm feeling stress and pressure, and I'm feeling revved up, and it's bothering me. I can't calm down, and I don't want to run away from it. I don't want to, start to eat food or drink or any of those runaway kind of approaches. I want to address it holistically. I want to actually move through it, transform it, and release it so that it's not so strong and so that it doesn't return so strongly in the future. And this is why this is a good idea, because we can gradually dissolve these things that may have been troubling us. We can actually progressively move towards a much more calm, trusting, unified, peaceful state of being as our normal state of being in life. And that's a very valuable thing to work towards. Before you start the practice yourself in the future, when you want to use this approach, come up with a couple of phrases that feel effective. And the general approach is you want to say something that acknowledges the feeling so that you can gently feel the feeling while tapping the release points to release the feeling. But then you want to come back to a center point of connectedness with yourself, with unconditional acceptance and love within yourself, and at the same time connecting to the trust in the divine, in the spirit, in God, in source energy, and whatever term works best for you. You want to get into that connected, peaceful state of connection. So in this example, I'm going to say the words while tapping. We're going to start on the wrist, and you can tap along with me. I'll say the words. So if you want to use this as a practice, we can do this now. I'll begin tapping my wrist, and I'll say, even though I'm feeling a fair amount of stress and pressure at this time, I love and accept myself completely and fully. Even though I'm feeling a lot of stress and pressure at this time, I fully trust and let go, and trust that higher spirit and source will take care of this for me, and that everything works out in the end. Now I'll move to the forehead. Even though I'm feeling a lot of stress and pressure at this moment, I choose to love and accept myself fully and completely. It's also helpful to take deep breaths in between each phrase, so we'll do that as well. Even though I'm feeling a fair amount of stress and pressure at this time, I choose to love and accept myself fully and completely. Even though I'm feeling a fair amount of stress and pressure at this moment, I choose to trust that everything works out in the end, and I choose to trust in higher spirit and source, that it will be okay. Even though I'm feeling a fair amount of stress and pressure at this moment, I choose to love and accept myself fully and completely at this moment. Even though I'm feeling a fair amount of stress and pressure at this moment, I choose to love and accept myself fully and completely. Even though I'm feeling some stress and pressure now at this moment, I choose to let go and trust in spirit and higher source. Even though I'm feeling some stress and pressure, I choose to love and accept myself fully and completely right now. Even though I'm feeling a fair amount of stress and pressure, I choose to trust in spirit that everything always works out in the end. Even though I'm feeling a fair amount of stress and pressure, I choose to love and accept myself fully and completely. And I choose to trust in spirit that I'm fully supported in everything I do along the way, and that everything always works out for me in the end. Now, if you've been following along with this exercise, you might have noticed quite a bit of relief, depending on what you were feeling. Another thing I'd like to add is that you might find it very valuable, before you start the tapping exercise for yourself next time, ask yourself what you're feeling of the emotion that you want to transform. How much of it are you feeling on a level of 1 to 10? So let's say, example, you're feeling a lot of stress. You might say, man, I'm feeling an 8 or a 9 or maybe even a 10 of stress. And then do a few rounds of the tapping exercise with phrases similar to those to release them and transform those energies and get back to that calm, centered state. then maybe after a few motions of the tapping technique, then measure yourself. Okay, now that I've done this approach, what am I now feeling on a level of 1 to 10? And you might be very surprised when you ask yourself introspectively and you really observe. You might notice that it's come down from an 8 or a 9 or a 10 to a 4 or a 5 or a 6. Now, at that point, you might want to do a few more rounds of those motions and the technique. And you might notice that, wow, I'm now back down to a 2 or a 3 or a 4. And depending on how far you go, you might be able to come back all the way down to a 0. So you can see how, in many cases, for many individuals, perhaps yourself, you might find this very effective. Now, you can use this approach for anything, whether it's fear, stress, worry, anxiety, jealousy, judgment, blame, any kind of a grudge, anything that seems kind of like a challenging, negative, stuck emotion. It's very important for us to get into these inner transformative techniques and habits to release these things, because we're going through a little bit of a transformational time. And for me, I've noticed in myself and a lot of people that our spirit is kind of pushing us to transform. It may even be triggering these emotions. Somebody in our external environment might say something and things might seem choreographed to trigger these emotions that come up within ourselves. And the purpose, I believe, might be so that we can use these approaches to transform and calm them and heal them. And what will happen, I believe, is that as all of us get into these inner transformative approaches, we can kind of shave off some of that collective energy of the collective consciousness of some of these emotions, such as fear, stress, worry, and anxiety, and come back down to a much more peaceful, connected state of trusting within ourselves, feeling connected to and loving ourselves, and ultimately feeling a sense of deeper trust and connection to our inner source, that inner source of divinity, our inner source of connectedness to the higher spirit. Whatever your belief system is, that's kind of ultimately where we're all being directed back to, I believe, and where I think if we use these approaches, will be very, very powerful and effective in achieving peace and comfort and getting back to that happy state of happiness and love, I believe, is our natural state. And by using these transformative techniques, we can arrive back there much more smoothly and much more easily. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I really hope it's helped you. Feel free to share it with others if you feel it might be helpful and transformative for them as well. And feel free to add some comments or let me know how this works for you down below as well. And I do look forward to seeing you in the future. Thanks for watching. Take care.